this video, I'm going to talk about fractions and how to multiply them. And multiplying fractions is probably the easiest thing to do with fractions. Adding and subtracting is a little more difficult. Division is a little easier than adding and subtracting, but there's an extra step that you have to do beyond multiplying. And so we start off typically with fractions by teaching you how to multiply because it is the easiest. It's not quite as intuitive, but it's the easiest. So now, when we're multiplying fractions, we multiply the numerators together to form the new numerator. Then we multiply the denominators together to form the new denominator. What this amounts to is we multiply straight across. And so instead of having the multiplication symbol out there, we could have it up on the top and the bottom. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us 3 times 2 is 6. 4 times 5 is 20. And now you might be saying, well, Phil, why didn't you simplify that? Well, if you're familiar with fractions, then you know that we try to get them reduced in the lowest terms. However, that's a different video. This one just concentrates on multiplication, one thing at a time. And so as I move into division and addition and subtraction, I'll introduce more and more of the simplification that I'm talking about. But for right now, concentrate on how do we multiply. That's just the skill that I want to build at this point. So what happens now if in fact you have a fraction times an integer or a natural number? Same idea. Going to do the same thing, except we have to make the second fraction. And to do that, we make use of one of the rules that I had mentioned in a previous video, and that is this idea that any number divided by 1 is that number. And if you had seen that video, I said, hey, wait, you might have to go backwards someday. So don't just memorize, oh, if I just divide the number by 1 is that number. No, it's understand that there's a relationship here, and it can go in either direction. In this case, we actually want it to work backwards than what we normally would read it. We want to rewrite that number as that number over 1. And so if I rewrite this, this is going to be 2/7 times, and then it's going to take -6 and put it over 1. Now I can go ahead and I can multiply all that out. So I take 2 times -6 is -12. So I multiplied the numerators, got the new numerator. Multiplied the denominators. 7 times 1 is 7. There's your answer. And that's all you have to do with it. That's multiplying fractions.